Okay, we are we are on. All right, happy Wednesday, everyone. June the 3rd. Man, we are just like zooming through this year, and we have obviously, I think the older you get, the faster time moves, right? Yvonne, can you hear me?
I can relate. I can hear you. I can relate.
And we have, man, we're zooming through. We're zooming through school. This is the end of our official end of our school year this Thursday. So all assignments have been submitted for my third grader and my sophomore. I think that was just like makeup week for most people. I hear some school districts are already doing their, what do you call that? Their summer school. And well, that's just kind of the way the time of the year is. But we have been seeing a lot of, obviously, it's no secret, we've been seeing a lot of things in the news. We had the virus related situation, and now we're seeing again a lot of the media, and what's going on in our current events. And so Yvonne and I were talking about that, in um, just how in our industry we have a lot of federal laws in place, right, that protect consumers. As the real estate agent here in Texas, right, we are bound by the code of ethics in the Texas Real Estate Commission. But above that, there is a National Association of Realtors, and if you are a member, not everybody is a member, by the way. It is a higher standard for realtors that are part of this association. It is a National Association of Realtors, and there are many guidelines in place that put us as real estate agents aware, right? I mean, there's things that we have to abide by, to make sure that we are treating all of our customers, who are not necessarily clients, prospects, customers, people that are thinking about buying, at the same advantage, so that we are not discriminating one over the other. And so Yvonne, as a lender also, right? Yvonne, you guys have some guidelines that you have to abide by as a lender, correct?
We do. I mean, there's several things that we have, and so we have the first one, which is Equal Credit Opportunity Act, and that was actually established in like 1974. And the only reason I remember that was because that was the year that I was born. But when it comes to that, it was first just based off of not discriminating based off of someone's sex or marital status, and then a couple of years later they added several other items on there having to do with race, which is a big thing of what's going on right now in the community. So that's something that we equally look at. Religion was a big one, national origin, marital status, age is a huge thing that someone cannot discriminate against. Receiving types of income. Some people think that maybe because they're receiving government assistance that they can't purchase a home. So that is something also that we look at to make sure that we are equally treating every person that comes to a bank. This is not just with Fairway, these are lending practices throughout the United States. So those laws are put in place to help protect a consumer when they're trying to apply. And I know that y'all have some specific things as well when it comes to that, but lending is very big when we are looking at that. And then in addition to that, we've had the Fair Credit Act, which has been put in place. And a lot of that, the easiest way that I can kind of explain that is it kind of takes the human emotion, right, out of making a decision. Because I'll tell you what, if I talk to 10 people, I would probably want to give 10 people loans,
Mhm.
because hearing their heart or where their situation is or where they're coming from, like I would want to probably lend to every 10 people that would come through.
Yeah.
And there may be some people that are on the opposite end that may not want to lend based off of, their situation. And
Yeah.
so with that, we have to look at what are the credit scores that are coming through, and we pull credit through all three main bureaus. The other thing that we look at is income and debt to, the debt to income ratio, which means how much money, do you have coming in? And generally, we don't want that to exceed 45% of your earnings. So we look at those kind of factors, which will take out that human emotion part on there so that we're lending fairly on that. And I think it's really important that people know that so that when they are applying, whether they're applying for a home, whether they're applying for a credit card, whether they're applying for auto loans, the lenders are all looking at, for the most part, the same thing. They
Same
just may have,
criteria.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They just might have some different FICO requirements, for each item. Some might be a little bit more lenient than others, but for the most part, the banks are definitely looking at that. And
The same
I know
thing.
I know you and I kind of talked before, but a lot of these rules got placed when we had the crisis in 2008, 2007, 2008 timeframe. It was a huge hit on our economy. So that's where the government kind of came in. They created a new, I guess, regulation, which is we call the CFPB, which is Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, and they kind of go in and monitor the banks when it's coming to this. And there have been, we heard back then, remember there was some big banks that got big fines for discriminating, and
Mhm.
we're talking about billions of dollars, millions of dollars that got paid out. But I think that, that law that had been put into place has definitely been there to help people purchase, a home, for at least my industry, purchase a home, purchase a vehicle, stuff of that nature.
Financing. So
Hmm.
we know, like just, and I apologize, I'm sitting outside because I couldn't find a quiet space inside the house. So we have company and it's a house full of kids. And so I want to be present with my family today, but I'm also, committed to you. And, we know, so I'm sitting on the front porch and it is a little hot and humid. So I'm kind of hot, but don't
You
mind
look great. You look great.
don't mind all that. So we know that like back since the Civil Rights Act of 1866, like since back then, the law, the federal law was the Civil Rights Act prohibited racial discrimination for the sale and the rental of property. We know we have, always had that that in process. I mean, that's a no-brainer for us. It's like we don't discriminate. We can discriminate based on your credit and based on certain qualification, like if you had an eviction, broken leases, things like that. I mean, those are things that take into place. But discrimination based on your um, race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin. All those have always been protective measures. Now, um, that should not ever affect your purchasing ability. It should never affect your financing ability. And so by law, National Association of Realtors has implemented that everything that we do when we advertise, that we always advertise with an equal opportunity housing logo. That logo, the logo that we use, and you see it in a lot of our advertisement, is because we need to always be present minded about that, because it's very easy even for a seller of a home to discriminate against a buyer and say, I don't want to sell my home to a specific race or a specific
National
religion or
origin,
those
right?
kind of things. Yeah, you cannot discriminate. So we know that those laws have been in place. I mean, obviously, things happen and it's not 100% compliant for everybody, but we want you to know that you do have a lot of protections, and you want to make sure that when you are in that process of purchasing your home or thinking about financing, that you do ask those questions if those are important for you. But know that Yvonne and I, we've been doing this for 20 plus years, 20 years myself. Yvonne's been doing it for over 25 years. And so we're obviously, we don't we I've been to a lot of places across the country where you see a little bit of different attitude towards you because of your color. I can't say that to the extent of some other people that have experienced some very severe
Right.
discriminations. But for the most part here in San Antonio, we're primarily well, you call it minority, but the majority is Hispanic. We're looking at a very diverse culture, very diverse population. And so we're seeing, a lot of just a lot more compassion, I believe. Can't say that I've never experienced it, but I can also say that as professionals that are bound by a code of ethics, that is our obligation to you, is to make sure that we are always abiding by that. Of course, we're not attorneys. We can't give you legal advice on those kind of things if you've ever been discriminated against or not. But do know that that is a very major part of that plays into what we do as a lender and as a real estate professional. So know that we do have those parameters that we want to make sure that we stay within. So yeah.
Absolutely. I can hear the birds chirping
Can you?
in your background. It sounds wonderful. So, yeah, I mean, I also just want to note that discrimination is when there's unfair treatment or practices that are being done. And I know that, you and I hold all of our clients to a very high level. I think most of us, we even treat them like family. We become friends afterwards and we keep in touch with them. And so just know that when we help anyone, we are treating you like if we're helping our own family,
Yeah.
And we're very honest when it comes to, having to come up with a game plan for credit or anything of that nature.
Yeah, you can just leave it there.
Um,
Delivery.
no.
Thank you.
Hi, Amazon.
Yeah, so my cousins, they're going to be here for a couple of weeks, so they've had some stuff delivered here, so it just popped up. But yeah, if anything, like Yvonne says, we treat our clients like family. We expect the invitation to the barbecue. We expect the invitation to the wedding.
Yes. we're waiting for somebody to put a ring, right? Soon.
We're just here, we're just here waiting for babies to be born.
There you go.
This is just a really exciting part of our business, is just to making beyond a client transaction, it's like family to us. So
yeah.
with that being said, I didn't want to.
We know, yeah. I was just going to say, I know that we personally have like close friends and so forth that do work in law enforcement. And I do help with a big part of the deputies and so forth. So I know that a lot of them, their heart is in the right place to always help, and not everyone is a reflection of what someone else has done. So I pray for everyone that is going out there. I also pray for the people that are peacefully protesting, that their words and their hearts are heard. I know my daughter, I was telling you, my daughter and some of the young adults, they went out and they were praying with people, just out in the downtown area. So, my heart definitely goes to all sides of what's going on and people that have been impacted, the Floyd family. And so just know that, we're here just for peace, and
we long as Christians. We talk about our faith. We long for the return of Christ. I mean, if you are a Christian, you can relate to what we're talking about. We long for that peace. We probably will never see that peace here on this earth. We'll never see complete agreement, complete peace, because as humans, we are prone to pretty much our own prejudice. I mean, we have certain things that we just have to stick by, and that's how we believe, and so I don't think that we'll ever come to a point where everybody will be in full agreement with everything that is going on in the world. But do know that there is always going to be something better to put your eyes on. There's always look for the good in the world. Look for the good in the world. Look for the people that are out there doing good, that are showing compassion, the girls, the young adults coming out to pray with you, those that are serving families grieving for lost ones, those that are serving their community to restore broken windows, clean up broken glass. I mean, there's just so much. Look for the good in the world, and we will find it because there is plenty. There is plenty. Sometimes we're just so and focused on what is making us angry that we forget to look at the joy in the world. So You guys, don't want to keep you too long on this conversation because I'm sure you're getting a lot of it through social media and through the mainstream media anyway. But, just so you know that Yvonne and I are truly, truly, truly rooted, rooted here, rooted in our community, rooted to serve you guys. We're always trying to stay ahead of the curve of what's coming up next. It is a new month. I'm going to have a new market update for you for June, and look for that video. It should be coming here soon. And then, of course, Yvonne will give us an update next week on what is the interest rates, what are they doing, what's it looking like, and hopefully share some really great news with you guys soon. Okay.
So,
well,
happy hump day. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are enjoying what you're doing. Find the joy, find the good. Okay, we'll talk to you guys soon.
All righty. Have a good one. Bye-bye.